down. And, a bit of here. These are just prints onto normal paper. It's kind of made up of layers of about 3 different prints. And one layer.
Is that one layers or just a single?
Yeah, there's 2 layers in that. That's come from. I've got these folders. They're kind of. I leave them out so people can have a look, but then these aren't all finished works. I do a lot of them are sort of ongoing, and I've got some that's kind of. They're almost like sketchbooks, but kind of semi-finished pieces. And this one has come from. I've actually photocopied onto acetate, and then sort of played around with the imagery, layering it before actually photocopying that, and then printing it. And then, so I went through this process for quite a while, doing various experiments, trying to get the technique down. And I really enjoyed it. I thought I've done photopolymer printing before, and which is a really good way of transferring photographs realistically through etching. But I found I just never got around to actually doing it on my own, because it's a really long process, and I'm sure I will go back to it. But I discovered this process, and I found it was quite quick and quite easy. I could easily get my head around it, so it was quite a good way of just using photographs in my work and being quite playful with them. It's not a perfect way of transferring a photograph. You don't get a perfect photographic representation. It stresses the image quite a lot, you lose quite a lot of detail, so you get this kind of broken, quite stressed replication of image. That's what I'm showing you here. That, and then I printed and etched the copper tank, which, being an old copper tank, didn't etch. It etched, but you can't. It prints, but not brilliantly because it's full of marks and bumps, which I really like. But I'm not sure. We're going to use a nice shiny copper. You get a more guaranteed result. But the image I showed you earlier. This blue is just from ammonia splash.
Hi, my name's Victoria Campbell. I've been doing printmaking in Liverpool at Hope Street when the blue coat moved up there. The last period of time there, they were experimenting with non-toxic forms. So what I was doing last year was I was using etching with copper sulphate and soldatone, and then going and taking some prints on the press there. When we were at Hope Street, there was quite a big studio there and a big press and a few big presses, and it was really good. But at the Blue Coat, there's a really good press, but it's an etching press, so you can't do the colograph, or there's a tiny, that it's limited by, by.
Okay, my name's Bob Kirkin. Never done this. I can remember when you started doing it, and I'm thinking, I like the results, but it was awfully messy. I've been doing photopolymer, spit pipe, trying to use spit pipe etching for photopolymer, which isn't so long-winded as the normal photopolymer, but I'm looking forward to doing this.
I'm Mary Cunner, and I was one of the first professional printmakers in Stefan's course. I've been doing collagraphs and photopolymer prints, carrying on with the work I was doing here. So I'll come back to see what new techniques there are and get some more ideas.
Simon, I've done a very, very small amount of photopolymer printing. Photography is my bag, really. I just, yeah. So I didn't recognise you first, but you had dreadlocks.
I did, yeah.
I'm just looking for another non-toxic method, really, that's a bit easier than photopolymer. I've tried it at home, it's an absolute nightmare.
Hi, Mary here. I'm from Chester, and so I've been doing sort of straight etching, doing some drawing, and I quite like just colouring the clay myself, and so I'm quite painterly, I suppose. But that's where I'm at the moment, and I just really wanted to come and see the place here. So I've been using the Blue Coat print room, and I thought it'd be really nice to just come and see everybody and what's going on here, and maybe do some stuff here.
I'm Jane Stokes. I did a degree in glassmaking at Newey, so the only printmaking I did before I came onto the professional printmaking course here was screen printing onto glass and printing from glass plates, which I'd sandblasted and used hand drills on. And when I started the professional printmaking course here, I mainly worked with layers, 2 or 3 layers on each plate, quite big plates, which Stefan kind of encouraged me into. And I was working with, I can't even remember what it was called. What was it called, the course we did with Paul Croft?
Waterless lithography.
Waterless lithography. So I had a layer of waterless lithography and a colograph layer, and probably found that the best way for me to work. I've also tried the photopolymer etching, and it drove me mad with the this degree of water and so many ounces of this, that and the other, so it just isn't for me to be so exact and precise. So this is an opportunity for me to carry on in that vein, but also, like I said, to get the texture as well would be great. Because that's why I always use a colograph layer, is to get the layer of texture as well as the sort of more painterly marks that I get from the waterless lithography.
My name's Kate Bruder, and I'm in the first year of the professional printmaking course here. I'm interested in the different ways that gum Arabic can transfer, because it's not an easy process. You mentioned it as part of the process, but I've been on one course where we kind of sprayed and then inked and then sprayed and then inked, and when the teacher helped me, tutor helped me, I was you know, came out, but I've not had so much success. It's very kind of hit and miss. But the other week I tried a different method of transferring by a photo by gum Arabic onto zinc, and which was easier. But when I etched it, it just came out a big black mess.
I'm a retired art teacher, long time retired now, but I never did printmaking as an art teacher. I thought I'd take up printmaking. And I've gone into it, and I've gone into it at a dangerous end. Listening to this, I've never done safe etch, I've never done anything safe, and this looks lovely. And when I said it looks like aquatint, I actually do aquatint. And I just bought an aquatint box, and I've just bought a press, a proper press, and I do it in acid. So everything is naughty and dangerous. But I'm interested to learn safe etch. I'm interested to learn, this looks lovely, so I'm keen to learn this, but I'm also keen to make connections with what I already did as an art teacher. Now this is, I've got some examples here, I won't bore you with all of them because they're all the dangerous end. But this is a sugar lift, and it's a deep etch, it's a sugar lift, you know the principle, you put a sugar solution that you're drawing, you cover it with ground,